Hit it. Hit that button. Poke my penis with your button hand. Ooh, I'm not streaming on Twitch, goddamn. Didn't tweet shit. Oh, fuck my butt. Welcome, everyone, to the birthday broadcast for Chad Michael Linus on Fire, a.k.a. Respawn Aim Fire, a.k.a. the Kickcaster Reverend Gaming Podcast, brought to you by Affable Idiots. It is my birthday, February 17th.
Happy birthday!
2025. I am officially dead. That's my age today. That is my age. My age is dead. I am dead.
Wow.
I am one of your hosts, Chad Michael. Hope you bought a cheap coffin, Innis. We've got our usual co-host here, Adam. What size coffin do you think you would need? Gumbert.
Hey, Chad. Happy birthday. I also turn the age of death in about 9 months from here, so that'll be fun. I can use a small coffin because they're just going to burn my body. I don't need a body. I'm dead.
Nice.
Burn me up. I don't give a shit. I'm not here.
Great. Love it. We've also got someone else who's not quite dead, but on their way. Alex, tell me about your afterlife experience, Cozina.
It was just utterly terrible, just utterly despicable. I am
Past tense?
now in the middle of drafting up the tweet that we forgot to send out ahead of time to let people know that we are live talking about our thoughts on last week's State of Play and Avowed, because all those things are coming up. Thank you to Matt from RI in the chat, who's wishing you a happy birthday, Chad, by the way.
Thank you. Shout out to Matt from RI in the chat, who sent me some delicious looking, I haven't eaten them yet because I just got them like a half hour ago, Milk Bar cookies. A little box showed up at my door, and I assume it was you, Mr. Matt. Thank you so much.
Chad?
Can't wait to put that right in my hooch.
Why did Matt from RI not get you coffee milk or whatever that shit is?
He did back in 2021 for my birthday. He got me a birthday package. He and Dallas gave me a... Oh, hold on. I'm getting a finger from our producer, Joel. Never Gonna Die Campos.
I'm putting in my official coffee milk request from Matt because my fridge broke, so I had to throw my old giant life supply away.
Wait a minute. No. You don't have to refrigerate that syrup.
I do.
It's like roaches.
See, but I do. Don't judge me what I do with my syrup, so get out of here.
Oh, my God.
I do with my syrup what I want to do with my coffee syrup. If you want to pour yours down the toilet, that's fine.
When we were in Rhode Island, did we have coffee milk?
Yeah, you had it at the place where we told you don't say hot dog, and then you're like, I'll have 2 hot dogs.
I feel like that whole establishment's main like commerce is not selling those non-hot dogs. It's getting people to mess up the name of whatever the fuck they were called.
They're hot wieners.
I'm standing on this. Hot wieners. Okay,
yeah.
Whatever.
Word just came in direct from Rhode Island. It says on the bottle to refrigerate after opening. So I don't want to hear it.
Why did you open it? It's nasty.
Delicious.
But yes, they sent me Funny Bones, which are like, I don't know if you've ever had devil creams. No, not devil creams. They're kind of like a little Debbie snack that are chocolate and peanut butter. They sent me a packet of hot wiener seasoning mix that I had to put on a hot dog because you're not going to find hot wieners in North Carolina. And then they also sent me a list of bounties to do because they knew how much I love Destiny and doing bounties. So a bunch of bounties and a giant thing of coffee syrup. And my mom, like last year, said, hey, I have this giant thing of coffee syrup. Do you want me to send it to you? And I said, no, light it on fire. She threw it away.
Disrespectful to Rhode Island.
Yep. Shit's nasty. You know what's not nasty? Hanging out with us every Monday-ish evening at 5:30 Pacific time, 8:30 Eastern time. Or if you don't want to catch us live like Matt from RI does in the chat and wish me a happy birthday because you're a bad friend. Matt is a good friend, but everyone else who's not listening live is a bad friend. You can listen to us on demand and have your retroactive guilt on Wednesday mornings at 9 a.m. Eastern time on Twitch, not Twitch, YouTube, and podcast. We're a little rusty right now. We didn't have an episode last week. Our pets' heads are falling off. It's a great week. Let's go. This week, we've got one news story to talk about. We've got a fun little game on Game Show. And we've got maybe some other segments in here that may or may not appear and poke up like a little Pokemon.
Like
that's
a little
what's going
Diglett.
on. I just want to make sure. Is Joel still here? Because he disappeared. Okay, cool. Great. All right, let's jump into our main quest, which is talking all about that state of play. Just the highlights, though, because we did a live stream. Cozy and Joel did a live stream, and I watched it while I worked, and Adam did something.
I was working,
Sunday.
bud.
And so we did that. We heard that, and we're going to recap it right now with some of the highlights. So what were y'all's
I just want
favorite
to say,
things? I can't hear you, so I'm going to leave the call and come back while you talk about it.
Oh, no. Adam, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. You're good.
Perfect.
Continue,
I just want
Cozy.
to say real quick, actually, it's kind of good that Chad left because this is just ultimately inconsequential, but worthy for the people that appreciate the nerdy inside art of how respawning fire works. We have not done a live reaction to like a PlayStation State of Play or a Nintendo Direct or a what have you in quite some time. And
every time I watch it, I do live react, but I've not filmed it.
Right. And initially, the plan for last week was things ultimately didn't come together on Monday. We weren't able to make Tuesday work. It seemed like we weren't going to do an episode that week. And then I was like, you know what? I'd love to react to the State of Play, which literally just got announced like less than 24 hours before it was streamed. Let's do that. And myself and Joel got together in a call and had a whole lot of fun reacting to this thing, even though I would say we're both kind of lukewarm on it overall. But it did have some cool stuff in it, such as a game that I see that Joel has queued up just right now, Saros, from a little developer that we all know called Housemarque. I mean, definitely one of the highlights of the show. I have not played Returnal, but like I feel like I definitely gotta correct that at some point now because this game looks very promising. That the studio has a kind of great pedigree, and Rahul Kohli. What can I say? Handsome man.
That's Rahul Kohli?
Yeah.
Wait, hold on a sec, Chad. So before we did this podcast, Chad went and watched the trailer for Saros, and he muted all of us, but we could still hear his reactions. And there was a point in your reaction to this trailer where you were like, "Oh my god!" And I assumed, oh, that's him realizing that's Rahul Kohli, but apparently it was not because you never realized who it was. What was it?
Yeah, Chad, why were you freaking
Chad?
out then? Okay, he's telling us to be okay. Cool.
Okay.
But
All right.
yeah, no. Saros looks. I like the 2026 release date. We got a new Sony first party game. The only real Sony first party game we got here, which was kind of surprising.
Yeah.
But I mean, following up Returnal, it looks like another Returnal, and Returnal was good. So shout out to Housemarque for making it, especially whenever they show the reflection in his eyeball, and it's like the spinny, like bullet hell style things. Like, we're just
like
doing
we're doing
Returnal
right now.
Yeah, we're doing Returnal again because
Yeah.
straight up, that's just a 3D arcade shooter. So that'll be fun.
Saros.
I am pumped
Yeah.
for this. I was just making those faces and sounds and things like that to make you all go like, what is he watching? What is he surprised about? I didn't actually have anything in particular, so I was just doing that to mess with y'all.
Okay.
I was
But it was a trailer we had already
I've
seen.
lost you again now. Whatever bug is
no.
going on with Video Ninja and sharing and not sharing anymore.
Okay.
That's
well,
crazy.
and that's that.
Anything else,
That's that from
Cozy?
Chad.
Any other good trailers here?
Yeah. Saros, obviously, pretty exciting. Hopefully we'll hear more about that sometime soon. Metal Gear Solid Delta. I know you were making fun of its dialogue a little bit earlier. Look, I'm not going to sit here and say that the dialogue in these Metal Gear Solid games is the greatest of all time, but it was a good trailer. Looks at a lot of the various members of the Cobra unit that Snake will be facing off against in this game. Game's coming a little bit later than I think we thought it was going to come. It's coming August 28th, but still pretty exciting. This will, of course, bring back the Ape Escape mode that was previously absent from the more recent HD remasters of Metal Gear Solid 3, so that's cool. Honestly, only other trailer that really stood out for me in this one, and this, I think I'm a little bit in the minority in this one because I've seen a lot of people online kind of casting shade towards it, but I'm intrigued with a capital I by Leslie Benzies Mind's Eye, which is the cyberpunk adjacent kind of GTA like game that had a pretty extensive showcase towards the end of the state of play. I think that there's like reason to be cautious about this game. It does, have some of that genericness that I think we're used to seeing with a lot of games similar to its ilk nowadays. But the thing that kind of piqued my interest watching its trailer in real time, and that I think piqued Joel's interest as well, is this game is straight up a GTA like, at a time where, like, outside of GTA 6, which is coming at some point in the future, we really don't get a whole lot of these kinds of games anymore. The last one that we got was Saints Row 2022. And, that game,
Oof.
some would say better than perhaps critics, gave it its due. Others would say, no, critics were pretty on target with that one. The point being,
Goldilocks would say,
I think that there is room in the market right now for us to get another quality type of these games, because it's been a while that we've had one of them, and I have my eyes on this one, is all I'll say for the moment.
Cozy, I'm surprised, because I didn't get to watch you guys react to it. You didn't cream your jeans for fucking Pinocchio Hangs Out Again, or whatever that DLC is called?
Oh yeah.
See, that's the thing is, hangs out again.
I said up front that this PlayStation State of Play was a bit of a letdown, but like when you actually go through the Rolodex of everything that was in this State of Play, I mean, there were quite a few games, quite a few expansions of interest. This game actually had quite a bit going for it. It's just, unfortunately, from prior presentations and live streams, we've been conditioned to expect a lot more first-party presence in them. And I think we all, throughout this particular State of Play, were just waiting for the moment where Sony would finally just trip feed us a few first-party titles. We did get that at the end with Saros, but you compare it to something like a Nintendo Direct, for example, and Nintendo is so good, like
Whoa.
What?
We got Days Gone remastered. We got a major first-party release.
I mean, but yeah, Nintendo, they're really good. They're really good, like clockwork, at being like, we're going to show you something first party, we're going to take a break and show you third party, first party, third party. I feel like PlayStation still has yet to master that art after all these years. But honestly, viewed holistically, this State of Play did have a lot of good content in it, such as Lies of P Overture, which we just looked at, which I agree, Adam, I probably should have brought up a little bit earlier, because it didn't fully cream my jeans, but it got him a little bit moist.
And I know y'all weren't super high on it while I was watching it, but the Directive 8020, that Supermassive game.
Oh, I'm excited for that, Chad.
Until Dawn. Yeah, I'm excited for that.
That looks cool as hell. Especially because the thing with Supermassive, like either they take time and it's really, really cool, or they were the Dark Pictures games and they put them out back to back to back and they were of less quality. So I'm hoping now that they've taken a break from doing the anthology games, maybe this one will be on the level of a Quarry. Or The Quarry. I like the premise. It's like, it's Among Us / The Thing. I'm like, cool, I like that premise. So it looks like it's good quality. We'll see, but that one I'm actually excited for. It was that and the WWE 2K one, just because I want to know what the island was, and it is exactly what I thought it was. So that was fun. Outside of that, though, like I don't know. Borderlands looks cool. Maybe you get to shoot
Borderlands
stuff.
look exactly like Borderlands, which I always have a fun time playing. And
haven't played one in a while, so maybe I'll get into it. Who knows? But outside of that, I don't give a shit about 80% of the things in this showcase.
Both me and Joel agreed on two things when we saw the Borderlands 4 trailer. Thing number one being, man, what's his face needs to stop inserting himself into every single instance where they show off a new Borderlands game. Randy Pitchford. Yep. And number two being, look, we actually had a lot of fun back in the day playing through Borderlands 2's campaign as like a group, as Respawning Fire. Like, there's potential for this game to potentially get the gang back together, but the onus is on it to prove itself at this point.
You guys aren't into Sonic Kart Racer?
On us.
I am, Joel. I do like Sonic Kart Racers. It sucks it's the same year as a Mario Kart, but those games are enjoyable.
I said this in the chat on the Twitch stream. Sonic Racing is going to get better Metacritic than Mario Kart Switch 2.
So pick it up in Fantasy Critic, coward.
Coward?
I can't. I'm out of money.
No, you're not.
Oh, really?
Liar.
No, I still have all my money.
Yeah, that's kind of
So yeah, little state of play. Some cool things in there. What we didn't see was Fair Games. Why wasn't Fair Games at the state of play?
Before that, Chad.
Oh,
Because that'll what we have
go
next.
over our props from
That's a
state of play
segment from Adam
predictions.
right here.
Is that props? Segment from Adam.
Okay, I was concerned
yes.
you were buffering real bad there, Chad.
No.
I was trying to sing anything that wasn't "God Bless America."
No, Chad, you got there. So what we've been doing, we did it last year, we're doing this year, our Best Gamer of the Year award. We will predict and do propositions or bets or whatever on a lot of the big showcases and stuff throughout the year to keep track of who the best gamer is. We do one for State of Play. We kind of went silly with them. It was fun. It was fine. But we're going to go through these predictions and see who did best. All right. Before we get to the last story, which is actually one of our predictions. So I think it works out perfectly that way. First up. So everyone made 2 predictions for the State of Play. We'll see what happened. Joel, first up, said Ghost of Yotai gets a release date. Future show just for Ghost. No, hide nor hair of Ghost. That doesn't exist. It is a ghost. I did not see that there. Joel said, also, we'll see more Marathon, announces a test period. Bungie also doesn't exist. We don't talk about them. They're not here. So that's 0 out of 2 for Joel. Next up is me. I guessed that the Phantom Blade 0 would get dated. Didn't see any of that. I also said Death Stranding 2 would get a new trailer with no release date. No Death Stranding 2. Apparently it's getting showed at South by Southwest. Whatever, it wasn't shown here. So we don't know any of that.
I want to say, real quick, kind of surprised that Phantom Blade 0 wasn't shown off at this State of Play. That seems like a game we would have heard more of by this point in time, given its, not the quality of game that we're expecting from it, but it being that game that's sort of in that, like in the same vein as a lot of these other third-party action games that we've seen from PlayStation as of late. Like the one Korean one.
Well, I'll say there's like 7 of them in the show where it's like, oh, here's an action game from an Asian studio that it looks the same as the last 4 trailers I just saw. Phantom Blade 0 is one of those. I'm also shocked it wasn't there. But it wasn't. So that's 0 for 2 for me. Alex had fun. Wolverine trailer is rated R as hell. Claws go through a chest to rip out someone's heart. There's a Valentine's Day nod in the trailer. No Wolverine, our boy. Wolvie wasn't there.
I had the thumbnail that Chad made from the prior episode in the corner of our little State of Play graphic, hoping that it would show up, but it did not show up.
It did not show up. And I will skip your last one to go to Chad's because you're releasing the next one. Chad's predictions were we won't see any new first-party games from Sony. Incorrect, because we did see Zero, so
damn.
Hate to see it. You did say we will see a Sony first-party, but it's a remaster or 2. Days Gone remaster saved your ass. Chad gets with 1 correct guess out of the possible 8. Chad, congratulations. You get yourself a point for the year towards our whatever Best Gamer of the Year award. And then Cozy's last one that he did not get was Fair Games Shadow dropped. No mention of Fair Games because, Chad, back to you.
Because Andy Robinson of VGC has this to say. Fair Games, the PS5 live service game from Sony and Haven Studios, has reportedly slipped into next year. That's according to Giant Bomb journalist Hefe Grub, who claimed in a podcast, as Jeff Grubb, in a podcast this week that the co-op heist shooter, first announced nearly 2 years ago, has been internally delayed into 2026. The PS5 and PC game is the debut title from Haven Studios. Creative director Matthew Leduc said of the game, quote, "In a nutshell, this is a thrilling competitive heist game where you join an underground movement to rob the ultra-rich and rebalance the scales."
I don't know, guys. I think there's nothing to worry about with this game. I think this is just business as usual.
I think they're under-promise, over-delivering. They're saying 2026, but it's probably going to be like March of this year. They just want everyone to be surprised and delighted.
Yeah, because that'll get everyone excited. A rumor about a delay and then a shadow drop will really get the blood flowing, you know?
Yeah.
Everyone's super excited for Fair Games.
And then everybody would be like, what? Everyone doubted Sony, but it turns out they're actually on top of their game. Woo!
I was going to say they're going to pull a Sega Saturn where they're going to say, oh, it's going to come out on this day, but then they do it many months earlier. The last possible day of summer in 2025 is June 20th. That is the last day before it officially switches over to summer. So we will see if we have fair games by June 20th.
I mean, the way that the live service stuff goes, obviously this is no surprise to anybody. Yeah, I guess give it time or cancel it because it can't come out and be another dud. So again, I would not be shocked if this game never comes out. We will see. Some of us say it's going to shadow drop and they have predictions on it, but I don't know.
Does anyone have this in? No, someone would be stupid to choose this in Fantasy Critic.
I would hope if they did, I would counterpick that so fucking fast.
I'll say this. I'll say this. If Sony does another one of these State of Play PlayStation Direct presentations later on in the year, I will not make the same mistake I made with Metroid and make this same prediction twice. Officially, for the rest of the year, this one is off the board.
But maybe you should just for fun, you know?
No.
Maybe Ashley Johnson will be in fair games. We'll make that fit again. No, you're good, Cuzzy. But yeah, that's it. We State of Play stuff.
Moving on to Playtime. Cool. We're talking about what we played this week. Playtime. What did we play? What do we want to learn about here?
Do you want to do it first? Yeah, me and Joel should just do it first.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. We got some Avowed.
Yeah, it's in the title.
Go.
Yeah.
Both of you. I forgot we put that in the title. I thought, everything's about me today, but I guess not. I guess my birthday means nothing. Tell me about Avowed while I pee. I can still hear you.
Okay. Joel, as you're looking that up. So yeah, me and Joel have played Avowed. We both got the early access version of it. I have, I don't know how many hours I have, but I am on the second map. Joel, now that you've pulled that up, how far are you for this preview?
So I'm still on the first map, but I'm kind of doing everything I can. I think I'm like 8 hours in, 6 hours in, something like that, 6 to 8 hours. I'm enjoying the game a lot, though. I think it's really cool. Part of it's also because I have essentially a brand new computer that I'm playing on, so I'm playing, 4K with like 150 frames per second, which is kind of insane. So yeah, the game looks awesome. Adam, go ahead and talk some more while I find some actual gameplay.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, so Avowed is the game from Obsidian. It is the fantasy RPG, and it is very much just, broad topic. It is a Pillars of Eternity game, so it's set in that world, and there is a ton of lore about how it's set in that world. In case you haven't played it, they do have the little active time lore thing in the game. But yeah, you're going on.
Am I the only person that always confuses Pillars of Eternity and Paths of Exile?
I mean, there's just the PoE is the initial.
They're exactly the same game in my brain.
Yeah,
I don't know what either one of them looks like.
Well, yeah, the same game, but don't know what they are. I get what you're saying. But no, it is sort of like take the idea of the Outer Worlds, make it a little bit bigger, and make it Skyrim instead of Fallout with guns or whatever. Yeah, so it's open world fantasy. You start, just shout out, because Joel's showing gameplay. The first companion they give you is the guy who plays Garrus in Mass Effect, which I'm like, good move, because let me tell you.
Is that this guy right here?
No, it's the blue guy.
Prince Charming?
Yeah,
okay.
It's the blue snake man. He was back a little bit. But yeah, no, it's a pretty interesting story. It's like you're going to this unknown land. That guy right there is Garrus. Garrus's voice. And yeah, and it's like, it's a big open world. You get to do your decisions. They make a deal. I mean, it is Obsidian RP. It's an RPG-esque RPG. And I'm super there for it. I think the thing that kind of stands out about it is I adore this combat. Because there's a thing, like, as much as I love Skyrim and play a lot of Skyrim, I mean, it came out in 2011, so I'm more forgiving. But, like, the gameplay of Skyrim now is a little rough. Like, it feels a little like I'm clicky-clacking like a sword against a dude, and it doesn't feel the best. The combat in this game feels great. You have wands, you have spell books, you have all kinds of melee weapons, you have guns, flintlock guns and stuff. And you can dual wield, so you can have 2 wands, 2 daggers, a sword and a shield, whatever. But then you also have a loadout. Go ahead.
Adam, I seem to have found the gameplay of the only person I've ever seen play this game in third person.
Yeah.
Are you playing in third person or first person?
I do first person most of the time. I'll do third person if I'm like exploring like a big area and I just kind of want to see what's around me. But I mean, 90% of the time I'm in first person. It might be like 98% of the time I'm in first person, actually.
The combat feels amazing in first person. It's in third person where it kind of takes me out of it a bit. Because it looks like the animations kind of aren't fully fledged out. But also, first person is kind of weird because when you're just like running around, your hands are like straight out, right? Like it's kind of uncanny. Yeah, you see your arms just moving up and down, which is pretty funny. But Yeah, the combat's awesome. Like my main weapon combo right now is they also have like a quick swap, so you can have your primary weapon loadout and your secondary weapon loadout. So my primary is I have a sword as my main, and then I have a gun as my secondary. So I'm just like hacking and slashing with this fire sword, and then just shooting people in the face whenever that gun's reloaded. And then my secondary is just a wand and a spell book, so I can just cast lightning bolt on people essentially, like that one video of the dude playing like LARPing, just yelling lightning bolt, like in a forest.
Yeah.
That's essentially me. But yeah, I'm loving everything about this game so far. The world I think is awesome. I know nothing about Pillars of Eternity. That's what this one is, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think that this game is doing enough to make me want to play a Pillars of Eternity game. Like the world doesn't stick out that much to me. You know what I mean? To make me think like, oh, maybe I should try this other game. I just really love Obsidian games, and I love Outer Worlds. This game is awesome. I can't wait to play more of it.
Yeah,
and
for
Outer
sure.
Worlds 2 is going to be awesome. Can't wait.
That's the main thing for me, is like, this is Obsidian in their bag. It's like, yes, we're gonna make, again, classic RPG. It's Outer Worlds but fantasy. It is Skyrim but in 2025. And the fact that they might make Outer Worlds 2 this year is insane to me. I was like, look on the combat. I do like the quick swapping between two loadouts. One of mine is a gun and a spell book, because you cast magic. I cast shoot person is the spell that I love the most. And then my other one is a sword and a shield. But yeah, it's a ton of fun.
Wait a minute. What?
I cast shoot bullet.
Shoot person? Is that a joke? Like, is that a funny that you're
it's
making
like a
right
D&D.
now?
Well, the D&D joke is like, I cast fist because you're punching somebody is the joke from D&D. If you watched the movie with Chris Pine, you would have understood that, Chad, but you're a hater. So that's
they don't have guns in that
we're
movie.
we're all nerds here, but you just entered a new level.
I cast fist what are you talking about? It's a joke for punching somebody. What do you guys are crazy.
The only time I've seen somebody cast fists is in some raunchy porn.
Oh, that's a different kind of fist. But no, I'm with Joel. I think it's very good. Again, I'm not super far into it. I think the game gets better as you go along. It opens up a little bit more and there's a little more variety. But yeah, I'm having fun fighting all these spiders and these lizards and killing people on these mushrooms. And I don't mind spending $20 for early access, because I actually spent $3 because I had a gift card. So no problem there. I will say, smart on Microsoft, because, obviously this game is on Game Pass, and I could have waited, but I was like, fuck, it's only $20 to play it early. And that's how they get your ass. It's like, it's only this much to do it. So I did it. Yeah, no problem. $20. Here you go, guys. Have fun.
Yeah, I do that almost every time I'm excited for a game that's coming to Game Pass and they offer the early access thing, play 5 days early for $22, I think is what it is. I almost always do it because 9 out of 10 times that 5 days early means I can play the game over a weekend as opposed to starting the game on a Tuesday, which is just the worst in my case, right? For me, at least, I don't work on the weekend. So it makes sense for me to be able to binge play a game over a weekend if I'm super excited about it than starting it on, Monday night at 11 p.m. That does not sound as appealing to me.
Very true. But yeah, again, early in, but I would say, like, especially if you're Game Pass people, check it out if you're interested in it. If you like the idea of Obsidian RPG in a fantasy world,
so
it's working for me. So go for it.
What's interesting about this game is this game been in development for a little while. I specifically remember that when it was announced, at that point in time, Microsoft had not yet purchased Bethesda. And I remember saying on Presswise, the old Canadian gaming podcast I used to do with a couple of friends, that like this game's announcement might be one of the more significant announcements that Microsoft has made in a long time, because in the absence of owning Bethesda, this gives them access to a Bethesda-esque Skyrim-like RPG down the road when this game eventually releases. Now, this game's importance within the ecosystem of Microsoft's releases isn't as important because now Microsoft does own Bethesda, and eventually Elder Scrolls 6 will release at some point within the next century, and, it will be a Microsoft game, albeit one that will release on every platform under the sun. But I do want to know, talking about this game, talking about Bethesda's, upcoming RPGs. Like, how do you feel like this fares compared to some of the prior Elder Scrolls games? Do you feel like going forward, when we see Elder Scrolls 6, that this is sort of the game to beat, that this game is something that you're hoping that the people over at Bethesda are like really studying intently and figuring out how to make a better experience based off of this game's virtues and highlights? Or do you think that this game is doing what it is, but like the next Elder Scrolls game doesn't necessarily need to beat this game, so to speak?
So you want to go first or me?
I've never played an Elder Scrolls game, so I cannot answer that question. I played 10 hours of Skyrim like 10 years ago, and my computer died, and I had to it was a whole thing. So I never played.
No, I mean, here's the thing. Bethesda's going to make whatever game they want to make, and Obsidian makes the games that they want to make. Like, I think if you're trying to, I don't know, I think based off of Starfield, which is a game I enjoy, but they were just Bethesda making another game, and Obsidian is making an Obsidian game. I don't think that they need to compete with each other or do whatever they want. I would prefer Obsidian just make 3 of these kind of games in the time it takes us to get Elder Scrolls 6, and I'm happy if they're this quality, because I'm like, I enjoy a good 8.5. I'll play that for 30 hours, go home, and then I'll be happy. I don't think if Bethesda does anything with Elder Scrolls 6, it's because Bethesda decides to do something. They're not competing. Because honestly, if you're competing with an RPG, you're competing with Baldur's Gate 3. And that is not a competition that is easily done. So I don't know if they necessarily care, or if they're just going to do... Because Elder Scrolls Skyrim sold, like, it's like the 7th highest selling game of all time. I think they're just going to keep doing what they do because they know it'll sell. So, but there are things you could take. I mean, I think just making it more modern would be the thing, because it'll have been 15 years since the last Elder Scroll games. So I don't think that they have to do anything from each other, but
I think both Elder Scrolls and GTA are fighting a battle against themselves right now, to where there's no way they can live up to the hype of what their next game can be, just because everybody's excited for both of those games. One of them supposedly coming out this year, GTA 6, and who knows? Like, that game, I don't doubt that game's going to be great, but there's also a possibility that that it's just way overhyped because of what GTA 5 is and has become over the years.
I'm of the mind that no matter what that game is, people will have wanted it to be so good that they will have convinced themselves it's the best thing, because they can't possibly deal with the idea that it might not be the best game ever. So I think no matter what, GTA 6 is getting 10 out of 10s.
I also think that they make quality games, so that's also that. I don't think Rockstar make bad games in general, but yeah, you're right. It's the whole hype and customers and how they react and stuff. It is weird, but I don't know, man. Just make a good game. Again, just make a game that sells. I think that's all that really matters at the end of the day. So
yeah, just make a game that comes out within this century.
We'll see. Point. They'll do what they want when they. Hey, again, they had GTA 5 for fucking 15 years counting, and you're gonna enjoy every minute of it. So it is what it is. But yeah, Avowed, good. Check it out.
Adam, tell me about Water Sports, or whatever WS stands for. It is not
Water Sports. The other game that I played, I got a preview of, is called Wonder Song. If you want to type that in. This was shown, I can't remember which show it was first shown off as, but it is, what is this? No, this is not right. Maybe it's not Wonder. Oh, it's Wonder Stop. Excuse me.
Oh.
Wonder Stop. Sorry.
I just learned about the Wonder Swan a couple weeks ago. Wild little handheld.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, interesting. No, Wonder Stop. I don't remember where it was shown off initially, but it appears to be like a relaxed, chill, like, oh, hey, you're this ex-warrior creator, Stanley Parable. It's like, you're running a tea shop. Yeah, I was in the summer it was shown off initially, I think.
Right.
So you're this girl who's a fighter, and she fails and loses, and is like, I've got to fix myself. And then you end up in this forest, and you end up trapped at this tea shop, and you're like, all right, I'm going to relax and slow down for a minute and run this tea shop. So it's very much, again, an idea of like, oh, hey, a coffee talk or whatever. Let's just relax and do the fun thing. And it's not stressful at all. And it's about like slowing down and like not stressing yourself out. Like, don't burn yourself out is the idea of the game. You're like, okay, that's very cool. Gorgeous animations. I love the game, the way it works. But then it's just like there's real sinister vibes. Because at the end of the preview, again, the preview is like an hour and a half or something. Again, you're doing stuff for the shop. You're combining your things to make the specific teas. Like, oh, I want a mint tea. I want this tea. Da da da. But then at the end, like the people like stop being able to talk, and then like everything gets really dark, and she starts having crazy ass visions and stuff. So it's like it appears to be, oh, I'm going to say it, a cozy game where you run a tea shop. But then there's also some real weird, maybe sinister vibes behind it as well. So that's pretty cool and interesting. I enjoyed my preview with it. But again, I think the game is gorgeous, and it's an interesting dichotomy with like how like laid back and fun it is to like run the tea shop, but then also just like the weird worlds you're in and the whatever the sinister undertones are. So again, I just had a preview. I didn't get the full game or anything, but I very much enjoyed it. I think it's really cool. Again, if you liked Coffee Talk or any of those management games, it's like that, but there's a little bit more to it, and it comes out in March 11th, I believe, is the release date for PlayStation and PC. So I enjoyed my time with it.
The last frame of that trailer says coming in 2024.
Yeah, I don't know. This is an old trailer, I suppose. But yeah, no, it comes out March 11th. Again, sometimes you preview a game and you're like, we'll see, whatever. But it was doing the right things for me. And again, I don't normally care about the cozy games, but the weird, those strange undertones kept me going. And then there's this character who's a knight, who's really just like a normal dude who like wants his son to think he's cool. That guy's fun. So he's just a dad. I appreciate it. But yeah, Wonder Stop. Nope. Wonder Stop. Yes, not song. Stop. That's what it is.
Dope. Well, now that we've heard about your cozy game that you've played, let's hear about what cozy gamed this week.
I played a couple of games over the course of the past 2 weeks. To be honest, I was busy working on a bunch of different projects. I didn't game as much as I thought I was going to be able to game. But I did beat and platinum a little game called Citizen Sleeper 2 Starward Vector. I already shared.
Wow, platinum.
Oh yeah. I mean, the platinum part actually was very quick, because if you just skip all the dialogue in this game and just go directly to the choices, and you already have like a vast insight into how the game's mechanics work, it's relatively easy, even though you do have to beat it on its hardest difficulty. I'm getting a bit ahead of myself. Citizen Sleeper 2 Starward Vector. Adam, you did a joint review of this game a little bit earlier. Definitely go check out their thoughts on it. This game is a great sequel to the original Citizen Sleeper. I think it does a great job overall of taking the original title's gameplay and introducing new mechanics that make it feel fresh, such as the stress mechanic, where you'll buddy up with basically various contractors and go on missions and have to complete tasks in a timely and efficient manner. And if you're not able to do so, gradually stress will accumulate and you'll find yourself making more and more mistakes. And ultimately, there is the risk of failing or not completing missions as effectively as you thought you'd be able to. On top of that, the writing in this game, like with the original Citizen Sleeper, is fantastic. The cast of companion characters that you gradually recruit to your cause are all great. The artwork, character portraits, very evocative. This game is just a great piece of cyberpunk fiction, and I think together with the first game, just makes for a really great duology. I do have two small complaints. One's like a small complaint, and the other one is like not a full-size complaint. Let's just say a complaint, a baseline complaint. The small complaint is, as much as this game does introduce a lot of new mechanics that make it feel fresh compared to the original Citizen Sleeper, it is largely a lot of the same gameplay. You're rolling these dice to determine outcomes, and then depending on the probability of the dice that you have on hand, either you'll get a positive outcome, or you'll get some sort of benefit, a neutral outcome, or a negative outcome, which usually results in you losing energy or accruing stress, for example. This is largely similar to what was present in the first game. It's entertaining, but while I can see people enjoying both this game by itself and alongside the original game, I can imagine a scenario where if you play both these games back to back, you might reach a point playing Citizen Sleeper 2 where it might start to get a little bit tiring. Thankfully, the last time I played the original Citizen Sleeper was basically a year ago at this point, so I didn't get too tired, but that was something that was sort of on the back of my mind as I got into the latter half of this game. The other complaint that I have, though, is while this game has a great cast of characters that you recruit to your cause, and you get to spend
Hey
a lot
guys,
of...
hold on.
Oh.
Video Ninja cut out, and everybody's
Whoa.
video went away. Cozy's just came back. It cut your
Whoa.
audio too. Chad's is still gone.
Oh no. Oh no.
Chad, your audio and video is not coming through. Cozy's and Adams is there.
I'm still here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Just chat.
no.
That was really weird. It took literally all of your video, like it's like video had some issue, and you guys all just disappeared, and your audio stopped showing up. Chad's still gone.
Oh no.
While we're retrieving Chad from the Phantom Zone, Polar Knights in the chat says, "Wow, Alex is getting a full beard." I mean, I actually shaved this about a week ago, so it's my beard's pretty small right now. I learned from PAX East last year that I just don't look good when I'm fully clean shaven. So I always try to keep just a little bit of a beard going on. So not quite a full beard yet. You'll have to wait a few more weeks to get that way.
Chad,
Chad.
try leaving and rejoining. You're still
I'll
gone.
even come back.
Yeah,
Chad
I've never seen video do that before. That was really weird.
And
We'll see if he ever comes back.
is he going to come back? Will we be able to retrieve him
he's
from the Phantom
back.
Zone? He's back. Hell yes.
Back like a butt crack.
Back on track.
Oh, now my audio's coming out of my monitor again.
Oh,
Hold on,
no.
I'm gonna mute myself to try and fix that.
Let's talk a little bit about Citizen Sleeper 2 once again. And Chad is gone, although it seems like maybe he's still in the Twitch feed, possibly. Anyways, we're getting distracted. Back on track. Citizen Sleeper 2. Game has a great cast of characters. I enjoyed recruiting them to my cause. There are a lot of great little interactions that you can have with them. A lot of, in some cases, entirely optional side quests in which you can get to know them better and help them resolve some of their issues. Towards the end of the game, as I approach the kind of final few hours of Citizen Sleeper 2, I did find myself wishing that the game did give me more opportunities, however, to interact with them. There are definitely quite a few characters within the cast where by the time that I rolled credits, I was like, oh yeah, I completely forgot that you were part of the crew. You just sort of faded so fully into the background and were barely present in the story from a certain point onwards that it's almost like you just became numbers on a spreadsheet, which is, a little disappointing. There was stick with me on this. There was an interview that the game's creator did in the lead up to the game's release where he talked a little bit about Citizen Sleeper's influences. And he had this really interesting quote where he was like, Mass Effect 2, which is a game that on paper seems very similar to Citizen Sleeper 2, was sort of an anti-reference for me in developing Citizen Sleeper 2. And basically it was like, Mass Effect 2 has this very kind of binary morality system where either you're Paragon or Renegade and, attempting to play a mix of both, attempting to play a great playthrough of that game doesn't really yield, many great results. There's not much of a benefit for doing so. I don't like that. And I also don't like how Shepard comes from this military background. And as much as you are friends with your companion characters in that game, ultimately Shepard has the authority to order them around militaristically. And I wanted to create a game in which the characters that you play as and, play alongside have a kind of much different, more intimate relationship with one another. And I think those are both valid critiques of Mass Effect 2. Mass Effect 2 is a game that I love, that I know many of us love, but it is a game that's not without its faults. But when it comes to character interactions, when it comes to giving you opportunities to get to know your characters better, go on companion missions alongside them, really get to know and grow alongside them, I still think that Mass Effect 2 has this game beat. And I know that there are going to be some people in the comments that are like, kind of unfair to compare Citizen Sleeper 2, which is a indie game made by a very small team, to Mass Effect 2, a bona fide AAA game. But the guy himself said, hey, I don't really like Mass Effect 2, and I wanted to make a game that kind of bested Mass Effect 2 in these regards. So I do think that there are things that both Mass Effect and Citizen Sleeper 2 can learn from each other. I'll put it that way.
Citizen Sleeper who?
Citizen Sleeper 2.
Tell me about this other game you got on here.
Oh yeah, that's right. I played another game. I got so much happened. Chad just phased in and out of the Phantom Zone, and I just completely forgot that. I also played a little bit of Picross 3D. So I don't know if you remember this, Chad, Joel, but shortly before we left Rhode Island, we actually visited a bunch of used game shops. And at one of these used game shops, I actually found this game in the Nintendo DS pile. And I was like, oh, I've heard good things about this game. I'm still relatively early on in this title. As you can see, Joel is currently showing a little bit of B-roll. It is pretty much Picross, but in a 3D environment in which you have to use the numbers displayed on these 3D cubes to kind of figure out what blocks within the cubes you can and are not allowed to break apart. This game, I mean, it's, there's no story to speak of. The graphics are fairly bare bones, but still presentable by DS standards, but I'm having a lot of fun. I think this is a very well-crafted and polished Nintendo puzzle game, and I am looking forward to playing more of it. I feel a little bit bad, Joel, because I remember when I bought this game at the used game store that we got it from, you kind of remarked, oh, I remember that was discussed at one of the panels at that year's PAX East. And you were kind of like, oh, I wish I had noticed this game sooner. So I want to let you know now, Joel, that when I finish this game, when I've completed all the puzzles in this, I will give you this game next time we meet in person. Oh.
Whoa, Joel's got that DS.
There we go. You'll be able to play it on your brand spanking new Nintendo 3DS. And that's that.
That's spanking DS. Dope. We've heard from everyone. Yeah. PP. I played PP.
On the potty?
I had a little birthday trip the last few days and had a couple of plane rides to go on that were a few hours each. And I said, what am I going to play? I want to bring my analog pocket along and play some little analog pocket. And played some PP. Some Pokemon Pinball.
Oh.
On my analog pocket, which is a game that, I don't know, maybe like a year ago, I was, I'm hooked on Pokemon Pinball.
I was going to say, Chad, you are a true Pokemon fan that now you're not even playing the core Pokemon games. Now you're just playing, it's pinball, but it's Pokemon.
Well, I had this as a kid, and then I got it again, maybe while we were in Rhode Island. I think I got it from Bowser's Basement in Rhode Island. Actually, technically that's in Massachusetts, but yeah, I got it and I've been playing it. I was like, man, this game fucking slaps. But it's also really hard. Like, I have not evolved a single Pokemon just because the controls are like...
You gotta get
for
good.
some reason, it's impossible. I know, I gotta get good. So then about 2 hours into this flight, I was like, people always talk about Ruby and Sapphire Pokemon Pinball. So I played PPRS after that and booted that up. And that game is so much better.
Yeah, I heard that's the best version is the Ruby and
So
Sapphire.
much better.
Looks,
first of all, your ball doesn't
visually looks so much better too.
It scrolls up the screen as your ball travels up, so you can actually follow it, rather than as in the gameplay that it shows here, it's just literally cutting like back and forth between the top and the bottom screen every time your ball moves. But also, I've evolved a shit ton of Pokemon. Sometimes I've caught and evolved like 12 or 13 Pokemon per game. And also, like, I am all of the high scores now on both the Ruby and the Sapphire board on Pokemon Pinball Ruby and Sapphire Edition. So I played maybe 10 hours of this game over the last 4 days because while I was on vacation at my best friend's house, the whole house also went to bed at 8:30 at night, which is like, it was great. We got up at 6:30 in the morning and ate breakfast and went to the gym and took the kid to school and all that kind of stuff. But then 8:30 was bedtime just because they were exhausted and that's their normal daily routine. And 8:30 is 6:30 for me on the West Coast. So I was like, I'm going to lay in bed and I'm going to play a couple more hours of fucking Pokemon Pinball Ruby and Sapphire. And that game slaps a whole hot dog out of somebody's hand. Having a great time with that. Loving it. I also saw a YouTube video that apparently the 3 starter Pokemon and Aerodactyl are impossible to get on that without ROM hacks because they were an exclusive giveaway from like a e-reader card in Japan that you can only get from a Pokemon Center in Japan. So yeah, you cannot legally get those Pokemon without some kind of ROM hack going on. So unfortunately, they don't have ROM hacks or cheats on Analog Pocket. So I will never get those Pokemon.
Yeah, that was very common with the Game Boy Advance and DS era of Pokemon games. I mean, technically the Game Boy era before it, where there were a lot of events and a lot of things locked deep in the game that you could only get if you like went to a Toys R Us store or went to some physical in-person event and had them unlock it for you in the game. One day, though. One day.
My last game on the list here is technically something that I played 2 weeks ago, but we haven't had a podcast between then and now. Gears of Wednesday has become Thursday night and is now Mud Runners. Although now it's Snow Runner. And we played Mud Runner.
Sorry, real quick. I was going to make the joke. It's now Tears of Thursday.
No, it is still called Gears of Wednesday. And it will forever be called Gears of Wednesday, regardless of game or day. But Gears of Wednesday is now Mud Runners. And me, Joel, Dallas, Matt, got in our trucks, got in our little buggies, going all over the beautiful mud-ridden mountains of Arizona. And we are out there hauling shit around. We're out there jacking off, trying to get ourselves out of bad situations where we've tipped over, riding our big rigs. We're out there slowly going up a hill in low, letting all the air out of our tires so we can get better traction. But we have bad fuel efficiency. You don't make sure you don't run out of gas. We did have one where like 2 people were flipped on their back like turtles, and like I think it was Joel and Dallas were flipped over or like stuck, and we didn't have any more jack-offs to get them up and out of wherever they were. And then Matt and I were like going towards the last objective. We had to get a camera set up in a tree to take photos of a wildlife or something like that. And Matt and I were going, and we were both running on empty. And then I slowly just came to a stop, and I'm like, I'm out of gas. It's up to you, Matt. And Matt is like, I'll do it. And he goes, and he finally gets the thing in the tree, and it's great. But yeah, these games seem dumb, but they're fun as shit with a crew. And I know Dallas has like 300,000 hours in one of the Snow Runner or Mud Runner. I can't remember which one, but yeah. I had a blast that one night, and then all weekend long while I'm sitting there playing Ruby and Sapphire Pokemon Pinball in my bed at night while everyone else in the house is asleep, I'm just getting text messages left and right from that crew on Gears of Wednesday. They're just like, let's go fucking snow running. Every single day, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they all got on and played Snow Runner together.
We can't stop, and we won't stop.
Here's the thing.
I was just sitting there so jealous.
Until every last bridge of Michigan is rebuilt and this whole town is refueled. We got to make sure everybody gets every brick they need. We are driving across the goddamn state to make sure you get your brick order that you need to rebuild whatever the fuck. We will go to every farm up and down Michigan and get every consumable, because that's a thing. Just, oh, these people need two times consumables. Okay, yeah, sure, I know exactly what that is. Let me run up to fucking the old Johnson farm and get that for you. Yeah, this game it's addicting. It's very special. I think Snow Runner is definitely more fun, in my opinion, than Expeditions. Expeditions is more of like, has the same physics as Snow Runner and everything. It's more of like hey, go explore Colorado. Like, there's a bunch of rock formations. Go drive around it. You can build like these small bridge things to fill some gaps to get from point A to point B. But go check that out. I'm going to stop sharing and reshare because I have some show and tell to show you guys.
Oh.
Last thing, but before you get to your show and tell, I'm not making fun of this game. I can definitely see the appeal, but will Tears of Thursday...
it seems dumb as shit.
Will Tears of Thursday ever properly turn back into Gears of Wednesday?
Who knows? Who knows? We did, it wasn't Expeditions, but it was something else that we tried to play a couple weeks ago. And then we were like, all right, let's finally just give up on this and let's just play Halo. And then we were all waiting for Halo to download, and then we played Halo 1 multiplayer online against a team of people for like an hour, and like, cool, let's never do this again. So we might just stay on SnowRunners for the rest of our lives. I still have not played SnowRunners. I've just been jealous watching them playing it from afar via text message.
Hey,
Joel. So I'm excited this week to actually play it.
If you guys get a spot, let me know. I'll jump in and play either Expedition or SnowRunner with y'all.
There's always a spot. Unless Chad's on, there's always a spot.
R.I.P. Marcus and Dom. They got covered in all the snow. They died.
So I'm gonna share a video with you here. I got a series of videos. All right. First video we got here is one where I don't know what the fuck we were doing, but I was like, guys, I'm falling, and I just rolled all the way down this fucking mountain, and my car would not stop. It was getting all busted up, and I ended up sticking the landing, and I was able to drive away from this, which is kind of wild.
In real life,
Kinda
your driver
wild.
would be dead, but that's very cool.
No. He's very much alive. Still kicking it
I
strong.
bet you lost the bonus $500 from not getting too much engine damage, though.
I'm going to move this off my screen because this is coming from my iCloud, and I don't know what kind of pictures we got in here. All right, here's another video. So this is the first time we played SnowRunner. And Dallas, like Chad said, has many hours in these games. And so we started a new game. I started a new world. We got in. We start playing. Dallas is like, all right, this is how you play the game. This is what this means. This is what that means. It means, this is how you do the quests. And then we got to a point to where Matt was like, dude, I just found this truck stuck in the mud. It's our quest. We got to get it out. And we tried for like 2 hours this night to try and get this truck out of the mud. And this is kind of how it ended. Dallas brought these heavy duty ass trucks. The one that I'm driving here has a crane on it, and I was trying to crane it out of the mud, and it just did not. Yep, and we're dead right there. Game over. Rest in peace. We did not get this truck out. We ended up getting 3 trucks stuck, and then we were like, you know what? Not worth it. Not worth it right now. But we came back. We persevere. Like I said, we're not giving up on Michigan like that. This truck belongs to somebody. This truck needs to get back home. So what the fuck did we do? We came back the very next night, right? I want you guys to realize Matt was playing this game with us until midnight and had to drive at 3 a.m. to take his friend to the Boston airport. This man was up here. We got on the next night. We went back, and look at this progress we have with this truck right here. We craned it out of the lagoon, the Michigan lagoon, straight onto the back of this truck, and we got that bitch out.
Wow.
That truck is free. It went back home, and then we got there, and they were like, whose truck is this? This isn't our truck. Why did you bring this truck? I'm just kidding. No, we turned it in. It was a good time. We were having so much fun playing
your
this.
other 3 trucks that you all like lost in there were there for you to fish out next time too. That would have been great.
You know what I love about this is that this game first came to my attention because you guys were reaching that point. A bunch of like 40 to 50-year-old men I work with who don't play video games only play SnowRunners. They're like they don't play any video games. They're like, I love that SnowRunners, and you guys have turned into those 40 to 50-year-old men who just play SnowRunners all day.
Listen,
I love it.
I 100% went into this Gears of Wednesday like, we'll do this one for Dallas, we'll play this one for Dallas, and we'll play something better next week. And I got fucking hooked. I got on, and Joel, like, I was the first one on after Joel, and Joel in the party chat is just like, Chad, I have a feeling this is a game you're gonna fucking hate everything
I
about.
thought it was. I mean, when the tutorial told me I have to start deflating my tires to get over a group of rocks, I was like, Chad is not gonna relate to this game at all.
Sorry, I haven't seen a single cat, so 10 out of 10.
So yeah, we've been playing a lot of that. We also started playing a game called Walkabout VR, which, Chad, I can't imagine the amount of FOMO you had because, like,
Oh my god, right?
It's rare that we play games on the weekends together, like all of us. And the fact that Matt and Dallas were texting every day, like, hey, are we getting on tonight? Like, are we doing this tonight? What are we doing? And then not only that game, we started playing Walkabout VR over the weekend, which is just a VR game because Matt decided to buy a Quest 3, him, his brother, and I think his cousin. And we started playing this mini golf that is just called Walkabout VR. Mini golf game. It's just stupid. It's fun. They take it seriously. They have spreadsheets where they have standings based on who won and who lost. And now me and Dallas are fully in. We're fully in. We were playing VR golf last night until like 11 p.m. And then I was like, all right, guys, I'm going to get off. And Matt's like, are you going to go get on SnowRunner? I was like, no, I'm going to bed. He's like, all right, then let's play more golf. And then him and Dallas stayed on playing golf. Chad, I know you want to play this game with us. It is on PSVR 2 and does have crossplay.
Oh, yeah. I already bought it, downloaded it. It's ready to go.
Oh, fuck yeah. All right. Maybe that's what we're doing tonight.
Yep.
Who knows? Matt might send the text. That's all I've been playing. It's been fun.
That's it for playtime. We don't have a quest log, but the last thing we've got here on my birthday is a Game On Game Show. The Game On Our Game Show, we play a game called Game On, the Gaming Show on our Game Show, game. Woo! Easy work. This game on game show, it's called On My Birthday, because it's my birthday. And every trivia question on this list is something that happened on my birthday. And Joel, would you like to participate in this, or would you like to stay a virgin?
Is it?
I don't know why that was the first thing.
Is it video game? Is it video game related?
It is video game related, yes. All video
Okay,
game releases or video game news things that happen
Okay.
on my birthday.
I'm gonna sit out because when I told you guys I could throw something together, I was already looking stuff like this up for your birthday.
Okay,
So I'll sit out because I probably already saw a bunch.
Cool. All right, Cozy and Adam, here are the rules. I'm going to read you like a little clue, and y'all just tell me what the thing is. All of these things released in one or another year in time on February 17th. Are you ready?
Go for it. I will say
On
really
my
quick.
birthday in
go ahead.
1994, when I was 4 years old, in Japan, the quintessential casual college guy sport releases in arcades. It's like Pong, but with Gale Force fun. What game is this?
Windjammers?
1994, arcades in
was-
Japan.
Literally going
Not
to say
Windjammers?
Windjammers as well.
It is Windjammers. That is correct.
There we go.
Point for Adam.
Point for Adam. On my birthday in 1995, in Japan on Super Nintendo, this 90s movie sequel starring Jean-Claude Van Damme is not to be confused with RoboCop.
Time Cop.
Time Cop is correct. Congratulations,
Yeah.
Cozy. Give yourself a point. On my birthday, on PS2 in 2004, this 007 game came out in the US and Canada. Though it's easy to mix them up, it's not to be confused with the 2001 song All or Nothing at All from the one-hit wonder band O-Town.
Everything or nothing.
It is 007 Everything or Nothing. Congratulations, Cozy. Give yourself another point. On my birthday in 2005, Microsoft announced they'd voluntarily replace this part of 14.1 million Xbox consoles.
What is the part?
2005.
Hard drive, disk drive, operating
not a hard drive.
system.
HDMI port.
Nope.
I don't fucking know what it is.
The
Turns out
printer
it was just the
settings.
LED light.
It's the red ring of death, but I don't know what the actual part is.
No, but it's the original
This
Xbox.
is 2005.
I was
Oh,
going to
this
say.
is- the
A
original.
regular
Oh, okay.
old ass
Yeah.
Xbox.
I mean, Xbox 360 was out by this point, but we didn't know about the whole red ring of death thing right away. It was a
Duke
more
controller.
slow thing.
The cause was risk of fire, if that helps.
The vent.
Not the vents,
The fire component.
Good chat. I don't
not
know,
the
dude.
fire component.
The original Xbox recall. I don't know, bud.
The pet dragon that lives inside of it.
What part delivers things that could catch fire
AC adapter.
or cause? Yeah, power cord. Great job. Great job. Yeah, they replaced the power cable on 14.1 million Xbox. Well, they volunteered to. It depends on whether or not you decided you were going to send yours in and get the replacement. I don't remember this ever happening.
I don't remember that either.
So I'm sure the one that
solid.
I've got in my closet in my parents' house right now is the fire one. So
Wait. Did you have to send it in, or did they just send you a new cable?
either way,
Probably
I
had to
didn't
request
get it.
it.
By the
At
way,
least,
Yeah, you
right?
probably had to request it.
this feels like a really late in the game recall because 2005, the console's at the end of its life cycle, and they're only noticing that there's a major fire hazard just then. I don't know about that.
Yeah. On my birthday in 2015, this game released over 50 costume packs on one day for Xbox One, letting you customize your fighters with probably even less clothing.
Dead or Alive?
Dead or Alive 5, last round is correct.
Wow.
Congratulations, Adam. What's the score right now? I think
3
Adam
to
3,
2.
Cozy 2?
3-2.
right.
I have it above their heads on the stream.
Dope. Last two questions. On my birthday in 2017, the VR version of this hit racing game was released on PS4.
Gran
and it's
Turismo.
not The Crew, Gran Turismo, or Forza.
Oh, well, not Gran Turismo.
Formula One.
Not Formula One.
A VR version of a racing game. Not The Crew, not Gran Turismo. It's going to be something stupid as shit. I'm trying to think. What would it be? It's 2017?
2017. Yep.
NASCAR.
Was it VR
It's
1 or
not
2?
NASCAR.
Oh, it had been 1
VR
because it's
1.
2017.
Yep. I'll give you another clue.
Sonic
This
Racing
franchise-
Transformed.
It is not Sonic Racing Transformed. This franchise was also one of the very first games on PS5 to support 120 frames per second.
How do we not know this? This seems really obvious.
Is it a Need for Speed?
It is not Need for Speed.
Little Big Planet karting.
Not
Nope.
2017. Fucking better not be.
Mod Nation Racers
franchise-
HD.
Is a synonym for dry mud. Take the water out of mud, and what do you have?
Yeah, I know, but I'm trying to think what would it be. Dirt
Just say
Rally?
the word.
Oh, the Dirt Rally
It's dirt.
games.
It's Dirt Rally, yes.
Yeah,
Dirt
yeah,
Rally
okay.
VR.
I was like, what's
Yes.
the second thing? That's Dirt Rally. It's just dirt, technically, yeah. Okay.
I was going to go. Remember Motorstorm? Motorstorm was
yeah,
very.
not 2017,
Yeah.
that was the problem.
Yeah, unfortunately.
This question is worth 7 points.
Come
So
on, stop. I hate you.
Actually, technically, it's worth infinite because of the clue. On my birthday in 2018, this game released on the Nintendo Switch in Japan. And it released with a non-stop Infinite Climax Edition published by Nintendo.
Bayonetta 3?
2.
It is Bayonetta
Bayonetta 2, 3. I said 3, he said 2.
Bayonetta 1.
1 non-stop Infinite Climax Edition. Yes. Published by Nintendo, released in Japan on my birthday in 2018. Congratulations to Cozy with however many points he had more than Adam
I have
for the winning
infant,
of my birthday.
Actually, 3 points, according to
Infant-
Adam's writing.
Infant points, his baby points, compared to Adam's 4, which is not even a human stage of life. So, there you are. That's it for Game on Game Show, everybody, and that is it for our podcast. Episode 384 of
Cozy,
Respawn.
did you not have
Aim.
something? Did that end up not happening?
I have Cozy's question of the week, but we can save it to next week or another week
That's
if we
fine.
don't want to.
Makes me no
It's up to you
difference.
guys.
Is it quick? We're at an hour and 8 minutes right now as far as me recording.
And you're going to have to
Let's
edit 2 of those
do-
minutes out, so
Yeah.
Just one question. How about that?
One
Just
question.
go for it.
Chad, you're the birthday boy.
I'm the birthday boy. Let me
Yes.
pick.
1 to 26.
Give me a number. Sorry, say that again.
Between 1 and 26.
27.
That's not within 26.
It's my birthday. Make it happen.
All right, here we go. Let's go. All right, we'll do this one. Would you rather? This is an would you rather A or B? Would you rather A, be able to scale any surface that's covered in yellow paint without the fear of losing your grip or injuring yourself, or B, be able to instinctively know the best possible way to climb any surface, however, it's still possible to fall and injure yourself?
Second one.
I'm going with B.
Yeah.
The only things I can think of that are painted yellow IRL are like parking spaces. And I'm not going to climb up a parking space.
Well,
That's what I'm saying.
true.
There's not shit in real life covered in yellow
Yeah,
paint.
but
unless
I
I,
was
have
gonna
someone
say-
go ahead of me and paint shit.
There's nothing in the rule book that says that you
Oh.
can't just throw yellow paint on any surface you want to scale, and there you go.
Oh my God. You could pay a bunch of window washers to go up Empire State Building and paint yellow all the way up. And then you can just climb
But then
all the
at
way
that
up.
point, if they're already getting up there to paint it, what is the point of you doing it after them? Because they already have a
Because
way
you're
to
on
get
the
up there.
news. This guy scales it without
guy
any
just climbs
harness
the
or anything like
building,
that.
and there's
you
yellow
get a
paint
bajillion
everywhere.
dollars to go to the Olympics.
I'm still going B because I don't see color, so I wouldn't know what to climb.
Wow.
He's
Wow.
colorblind, everybody. It all looks great to him.
And that's it for Cozy's question of the week.
And that's it for episode 384 of Respawn Aim Fire. Thank you, everyone, for listening, especially Matt, because he wished me a happy birthday in the chat, and no one else did. So fuck the rest of you for listening. And welcome the rest of you to my good book. And you have homework, as always, patreon.com/respawnaimfire, where you can go to help choose what games do we play each month, because there's a special game called a barf game. And no, it doesn't have to do with throw up most of the time. Sometimes it's just a backlog accomplishment, the Respawn and Friends game, where we play a game based on your votes over on Patreon. And that game for the month of February is... Fuck, what is it? Portal 2.
Portal 2.
Portal 2.
Portal 2. Play it with your sweetheart for Valentine's Day last weekend, and then talk with us on the podcast at the end of the month. If you have thoughts on Portal 2, I know a lot of you do, you nasties, write into us. Let us know your thoughts. If you want to be on the show and talk about Portal 2, let us know. We'll schedule a date around you, because we haven't scheduled a date yet for this month. So TBD. Still, if you're listening live, you have a great opportunity right now before we hit end on this podcast, and then we talk about it as a crew right now on Video Ninja. So if that's a thing that sounds appealing to you, do it. And then I guess we'll be putting up a poll in the next week for people to do it. So go do that. Also, if you're a patron, you get access to a special, super secret, sexy episode called Rafter Dark, where we talk about nothing related to video games as a special off-topic episode. Rafter Dark. Oh yeah. What's the Girls Gone Wild? That's it. I was just like, what's the thing that you're late at night, you're watching on TV because you left Comedy Central on, and now you're just seeing the commercials and they say the name of it over and over and over. Girls Gone Wild. That's it.
Oh, Girls Gone Wild.
So Rafter Dark is like Girls Gone Wild, but us.
Yeah.
That's what this next one should be called. Our next one should be just called Raf Gone Wild. Rafter Dark, and then Raf Gone Wild, and then something else porny.
Rafter Dark, Raf Gone Wild, dash a Rafter Dark Switch.
You have access to that. It was a fun old time. You have access to that for the rest of the month. If you are not a patron, what do people get? Raf Cake? Is that still the thing?
Yeah, that's right. I made a cake, something like that. Go check it out. Nobody checked it out.
It's not in the shape of a dick or anything porny like Rafter Dark is.
And delicious desserts, and they didn't want to watch it. But you guys should watch it. Everybody who's watching a Twitch stream right now, all two of you, go watch it. I dare you. Or bear you.
Bet you won't.
Which is what I was about to say, because I mispronounce things sometimes.
Bet you won't hit them.
Yeah.
That's it.
Thanks
everyone for listening. Do people have, do you all have things to plug? You plug anything anymore?
Who?
No?
No.
Not yet. I might have something to plug in a couple weeks.
Oh.
Maybe.
Oh.
Might have a couple things. Might have a couple things announced in a couple weeks. We'll see what happens.
Oh, shit.
Oh. Bye.
All right, folks. Well, that's it. Until next time, here's our usual sign-off. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday, dear me. Happy birthday to me. I'm going to give me a big birthday kiss.